Shall we?
We shall. It's October. You know what that means? Scotchtober. Let's get into it. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Andrew. This is Nate.
Hello.
We are Everything in the Barrel, and we are going to be kicking October off right. Or should I say, we are going to be kicking Scotchtober off right with a Balvenie DoubleWood 12-year. This is one of my favorite scotches. I know you enjoy Balvenie just as well.
Yeah.
You're the Scotch guy in this group.
It doesn't get a lot of love. Balvenie doesn't.
Yeah, which is surprising to me because it is very good.
Yes.
Is it proof? Is it just because?
No, it's just
like,
different.
what do you think?
I don't know. It's the DoubleWood bringing what it is. It's people get so focused on like the age statements, thinking like, hey, a higher age statement means it's just better.
Yeah.
No, not necessarily. You have a lot. I mean, we have even
Just like American whiskey.
yeah. You have like no age statement stuff that is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then you start doing different. Oh, because this one actually is in sherry, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
First
it's
cask,
a
second
traditional American bourbon cask that they use.
Yeah.
And then sherry oak cask.
So, and then with Scotch, you have different regions, and this one is very much in
The forgotten region.
well, I shouldn't say forgotten. It just itself just doesn't get a lot of love. I'll see it like so we got like Total Wine up in here in Minnesota, in the Midwest, and I'll see like they'll have like a 30-year just sitting in the display case, but then you don't see anything else like on the regular shelf, so you don't even see like the 12s or the.
See, I don't go down the Scotch aisle all that much.
Yeah, well, you should. So we'll get you down there. We'll convert you a little bit.
Well, I mean,
You got the shelf space. We'll make some room.
that's realistically how you brought me into whiskey, though, was starting with a whole bunch of Scotch. There was like some Buffalo Trace, Four
It was
Roses.
80% Scotch.
Yeah,
It was
the vast
80%.
majority of it was Scotch. A lot of it being Highland, Speyside, and some Islas.
Yeah, actually, you like the Islas really well, like right off the get-go, which is like not normal.
Do you expect anything less from me?
Other than the weirdest things possible.
Perfect. So this coming in, like we said, 12 years old. First cask was an American whiskey cask, so more than likely bourbon, knowing how the Scotch industry works and will use primarily bourbon barrels because bourbon is like one of the most vastly made spirits in America. And then it's finished in a sherry oak cask. So a couple different elements going on into this one. I think that's why I enjoy it so much, is just because there's two different things that I love about American whiskey in a lot of ways, that being like bourbon casks, and then I really enjoy sherry finished whiskeys and bourbons and ryes and whatnot.
Yeah,
so this
we both
having
do.
nice elements of both, I think that's what speaks volumes to me. And on the nose, that's the one thing with Scotch that it's a hurdle for me in a lot of ways, but just how earthy it is.
Yeah.
I know you get a lot more of like that floral.
This one's going to have a lot more of a nutty note.
Okay.
But even the color, you're going to get a lot of like way lighter than a lot of the Americans. Sometimes you do like, non-chill filter, and you're going to get like Ardbeg that's going to look like water.
Yeah.
Like just clear.
And that's because they're using used barrels that have already had spirit
you
in
get
there.
non-chilled filtered, and that's going to do a lot of different stuff too. But you start, when we talked about anything, you start talking like port finishes or sherries, they think it's going to be darker. They're like, oh, is this even real, or is this bad, or has it gone sour? But really, it's just part of the process.
Yeah.
We can make a whole different video of why things look the way they do, or anything else later. Right now, we're going to talk about Balvenie.
Yeah. So right off the rip, it's earthy. I get a little bit of that nuttiness that you talk about, not a whole bunch. But for me, it's just earthy. It's a little citrusy in a way too, but it's also very like toffee in a way.
I can see how you're getting a little bit toffee. I know what the palate is, and I think that's part of the reason why I pick up on the nose, that you get the nuttiness. It's not a walnut, it's just nut.
Generic.
Just nuttiness. sometimes I get like it's almost like a hint of chocolate. So I don't know if it's just a mixture of that, but I do appreciate.
There is definitely a sweet element to this, which is nice.
Much, yeah.
Like on the palate, you're not, to me anyways, I'm not getting a lot of sweetness on the nose. It's a lot of that earthiness and like just rich notes in that way. But on the palate, it is very sweet. It is very just inviting. And for you guys on the other end of this, if you haven't had a Scotch, we wanted to kick off Scotchtober with this one just because this is a very inviting, like a very inviting whiskey into the Scotch world.
Well, and it's not even high proof. I had to look at it again because I couldn't remember. I actually assumed that this was like 80. It's at 86.
Yeah.
So it's, we've been doing like 100, 107, 112,
plus is typically where we live when we're doing American whiskey.
Yes. But I also don't want people to get so hung up on looking at the proof of going like, oh, it's weak. You're sitting at 80 or 90. You're like, that's not for me.
Yeah.
Okay. If you really wanted proof, there's some.
Yeah.
We have stuff later. We can tell you if you really want to just proof.
Foreshadowing.
But for what it is, I enjoy Balvenie. It's not as complex as like some of the other American whiskeys, but we've also had some that are, you did your heritage where it's like this isn't so complex, but it fits that profile.
There is, and there's a lot of like impact from like that sherry barrel. I feel like like some of those like more like sweeter, fruitier notes that are coming through on that.
Yeah.
But you brought up a good point about the proof.
Yes.
To where a lot of people, when they hear 80 proof for American whiskey, it's like, oh, that's bottom shelf, that's lower tier. Exactly.
It's not going to do anything.
To where Scotch, like, you're not, realistically, you're living in that 80 to 90, 95 range with a lot of Scotch. Like super high end is typically, for what I've seen, like 105 plus is like just like astronomical proof a lot of times.
Sometimes. And you're gonna get it to where the higher age statement is gonna be less in the barrel.
Exactly.
And then also you're gonna get some, we got some other age statement stuff that's gonna be, it will be darker. We got 18 year that will show you that it's like dark.
Yeah.
It'll put American whiskey to shame.
Yeah.
So.
But you brought up that point about the proof, and it just,
I don't think the cameras are gonna pick up on it, but I mean, it's just.
Yeah. It's more
really
orangey,
light.
like light brown orangey in a way.
It's like you took an American Jack Daniels and you watered it down 50%.
Right.
It's honestly kind of what it looks like.
Yeah.
But
that proof, that you brought up, like it's, when people think American and like 80s to 90s, whatever, they think bottom shelf, they think lower end, they think just like, hey, this is like low tier. Where Scotch, where if it's living in that proof range, it's hard to judge it on that, because there is, in a lot of ways, there's a lot more complexity going on that I've noticed when I go to visit Scotches and whatnot. Like, just because it's a lower proof, like you think like, oh, it's gonna be super watered down, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be that. But realistically, like it's just, I don't know. I find a lot more complexity in some of those lower proof Scotches than I do some of the high proofs. And I find it especially more than like those low proofs for American whiskey.
yeah, you start going to like, well, I can't remember. I am not a expert by any stretch of the imagination. I just like my Scotch.
Yeah.
Like you start doing like the Wee Beastie or whatever.
Oh yeah, the 5-year Ardbeg.
Not my cup of tea.
No.
Just stay with the 16 or the 11 year and
The 16-year?
16 year Lagavulin.
Oh, okay.
Like just that.
Yeah.
Like just 16.
I thought you were
or
saying
like,
16-year Ardbeg. I'm like, when did they make that?
No. Like just Lagavulin.
Lagavulin 16.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I mean, yeah, Ardbeg 10 is good and everything else, but Ardbeg has so many different things. If you're looking to just start in there,
Ardbeg's a good start.
probably should bring in Lagavulin on the video too.
Yeah.
Talk about that at some point in time. But no, I don't know. We keep making jokes. We never read the back of the label, and I still haven't. So no, I greatly appreciate it. It is simple yet complex.
Yeah.
Easy drinking. It's going to be kind of a good first step.
Yeah, for sure.
Into the world of Scotch, and even if you don't it's not going to knock your socks off,
No.
but it's good to kind of at least have a stepping stone of, okay, start doing these paths.
Yeah, and you're
then
not,
your palate's going to start really being able to pull a lot more.
And for, what is this, like a $50-ish Scotch?
Yeah, maybe. It really depends on where you're looking,
Yeah.
what you're doing. I actually couldn't remember off the top. I just looked it up. Yeah, for our area, it's about 70-ish.
Oh, okay.
Ish.
So a little bit more than, okay.
It really depends on who you're buying it from, if it's mom and pop or if it's a big chain.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Okay. I thought it was a little bit lower, but even still at $70, like for a Scotch, like that's not that bad realistically.
No.
But also too, for an entry level Scotch, you're not really looking for anything to like blow your socks off.
No.
You want something that's going to bring you in and show you what this rabbit hole whiskey has to offer. Mm-hmm. And again, that's why we went to this like early on in Scotchtober, because it is just, you sit someone down that has never had whiskey, that has never had Scotch, that just wants to learn about it. This is what I pour them. If I'm going to say like, hey, this is Scotch, try it.
That's more than I've gotten already.
Yeah. And I mean, this is my second or third bottle of it. And that's saying something for me as a bourbon and rye American whiskey drinker.
Yep.
That I've killed off 3 bottles of this already.
Yep. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is your 4th.
Yeah. Yeah. I enjoy it.
No,
but
it does not get a lot of love. But, and I actually had to do some looking here too, because you start getting the distilleries. Ardbeg is going to be a big one in Iowa, that they do so many different styles. It's like they'll make one and you'll never see it again, but they make so many that
they have their committee releases.
It's, lingering, where, you're going to get into like, well, we can stay on like the Highland. You're going to do a lot of Glenfiddichs. You're going to do some Dalmores.
Yeah.
Yep. To where they do a couple different things. Balvenie kind of does a lot of I like their DoubleWoods. They do have, I believe they have a port one.
Okay.
That, it's been a long time since I had that, but we like our finishes. I think the ports are going to do really well.
And then what's the 14-year rum finished?
I don't even know if they.
Okay.
I have no idea. Like I said,
I think they have a rum finished 14.
I wouldn't be
tried that
surprised, but that's where I can't keep track. I don't try to keep track because then I'm just going to want to buy them all.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but Balvenie is also one to where if you like the profile, it's not breaking the bank. And they have other age statements to where you do have a longer time for them to kind of play around with it, or let the barrels do what they're going to do. Because like what I say, the 21-year Portwood, you're like in the mid 300s.
Okay.
Ish.
Yeah.
Okay. And we've been talking about a couple of American ones that are like, oh, we're in like the 320s, or it's secondary and it's almost $400. It's like, okay, but you're getting a 21-year age statement. Okay, so you're up there in years. You're not seeing a lot of that here. I mean, you're doing like Weller 12s. What does Parker's even have? Like they're like 8s, 10s, 11s. You're not seeing high age statement. Scotch you'll see high age statement.
And a lot of that has to do with like the climate in Scotland. Like they don't have as vast variance in weather and whatnot, or temperature variance. Like weather, yes, but temperature variance.
Your regions will be completely different.
So different elevations, different, just overall different areas of Scotland itself play a huge impact.
And then from my understanding, they basically, your American stuff, it's virgin, where Scotch will go like, hey, we'll buy those off you because you can't use them. And so if they find an American side that they really like vibe well with, or whatever they're doing, and it makes an amazing juice, they're gonna keep buying from.
Well, the
them,
other thing too, like we got to
barrels.
take into consideration is just like there's parent companies of all of these like big time distilleries and whatnot, and you see a lot of like those parent companies that own a lot of American whiskey distilleries and whatnot that also own Scotches and Japanese whiskeys and this, that, and the other. So I feel like a lot of times, like if you know who the parent company is, I can't say for sure, this is just my speculation, but if you know who the parent company is and what they own, you can almost bet that like, hey, it's going from this distillery, traveling to Scotland, being used for this, that, and the other, whatever. I would imagine like it makes like I imagine that the barrels make that sort of journey.
Yep.
So, but overall, this is a very good entry into Scotch, and I'm happy that we got to start Scotchtober with this, because it is just a perfectly well-rounded Scotch whiskey in my eyes, and it's for lower end Scotch. It drinks way above its weight class.
And it's not even like I said.
It's not monkey shoulder, but it's
yeah,
okay. Exactly.
Yeah, it's not that. But no, basically your notes on this one's gonna be really nutty, probably some sweetness.
Yeah, some toffee.
Would you say honey or no?
There's a little honey aspect to it.
I always got like just a lot more nuttiness on it.
Yeah.
Not old
I mean,
pub.
it's no, but it's just enjoyable. It's an all-around enjoyable whiskey.
Yeah, very easy to drink. It's not really slapping you in the face, whatever else. If you want to be knocked around the room, that's what Isla's for. So.
Exactly. So if you're looking to get into the Scotches, stick around, hang out with us this month. We'll be going down a couple different rabbit holes here. So
we'll try to like stay within certain regions, and if we do enough of them, maybe we'll kind of circle back around. But
drop down in the comments what Scotches you enjoy. If you've been thinking about getting into the Scotches, let us know. We're always happy to throw some tips out there where we think you should start if you're exploring into that rabbit hole. But join us every Wednesday here in October, and we will be putting out some more Scotchtober videos. Thank you. We'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks, guys.